Hey guys, this is Kelly with City Slickers Homesteaders. So tonight I wanted to show you a way to can outside. So we've had a heat wave here in Ohio. It was 87 today. So too hot to can in the house. Heats our house up too much and makes the AC work too hard. So we use our camping stove to can outside. So the beginning's kind of boring, so I figured I'd show you kind of halfway through. So I've got the water bath canner going. It's been boiling for a while, so those jars are all sterilized. And then with this, let me get out the light here, I do a no pectin strawberry jam. So it's 10 cups of cut up strawberries, and then 5 cups of sugar, the zest of a whole lemon, and then that whole lemon juiced. And the lemon helps create the pectin with the strawberries. And you can use this with strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, any of them. You can combine them just as long as it equals up to 10 cups of berries. So I've got them boiling now for a while. It is a long process. But I get them boiling, let them boil, get the berries soft, and then I'll use my immersion blender to get them a little more smaller pieces, because when I do the jam I don't leave it super thick. So, and I've noticed by getting it kind of a little more blended up, it kind of helps it set a little quicker, so you don't have to cook it for so long. So I will bring you guys back when I get to that point. So now I'm getting ready to use the immersion blender, and one thing I forgot to mention is you want to make sure you're using a pot that has a really thick base on it. Like this one's a cast iron skillet that's got the ceramic enamel on it. This is the only pot I will use for my jams because I don't have to worry about it burning on the bottom because it has such a thick base on it. So all I do here is just use the immersion blender. And then once I get this to the consistency I like, I'll let it keep going at a rolling boil till it starts thickening up. And if it's your first time making jam, one way you can tell once it's boiled for a while if it's thick enough is put like a little saucer in the freezer, let it get nice and cold, and then put a little dab of this on there, put it in the freezer for a couple minutes, and then when you take it out, kind of tilt the saucer to the side and run your finger through it. And if it stays in that position and where you ran your finger doesn't go back, then you know that it's ready to set. So I'll do this for a little bit and then I'll bring you guys back after it's done boiling for a while. So this has been pretty much doing a solid rolling boil now for probably about 30 minutes. And this was after I used my immersion blender on it. So there's a few little chunks in there, but I don't like, and the kids don't like a whole lot of chunks. So I try to blend it in. And with strawberries being a lot juicier, they do take a lot longer with this process without the pectin in it to get them to the thicker consistency. So I'm actually just about ready. It's getting pretty thick now, so I'll probably turn this off here in a minute and get jarring on these. So I've got all my equipment here. My hubby set up this table, got my rings and my lids, because they're saying now you don't have to boil the lids with the new ones anymore. So I got my jar lifter and my funnel, my ladle. I know the light's not the best out here, but it's pretty dark out. You can see the moon. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and get this turned off. Okay, so got that off. You just want to be careful with this because this is pretty much like boiling lava. It's very hot and it will stick and it will hurt. So I've had, ouch, my jars in there boiling this whole time. You only have to actually boil them 10 minutes beforehand, but I did it longer just so it's already ready. So it's hard to do this one-handed, so I'm going to go ahead and get these jarred up and then I'll bring you guys back. Okay, so I'm on my last jar. I got 6 in there already. It's hard to see, but this is my last one. You want to leave a 1/4 inch of headspace. This is my last one, so it's just a tad under, but you always want to wipe the rims. No matter how careful you are, you can always get some on there, and that will affect the seal if they are not clean. Sorry. There we go. And then the lid, screw on fingertip tight. If I can get it on there right. Nope, did not have that on there right. Okay. And we'll just wipe that again. It's hard to do this one-handed. There we go. So fingertip tight. And the reason I kind of did like a couple jars at a time is because you want to make sure you don't let your jars or your stuff on the inside get cold, because you put it back into boiling water and that can crack the jars with a temperature shift. So I'm gonna get this up to a boil and then start the timer. And with jams, it is based on your altitude, so always check that with like the National Preservation website. That always gives that information. So let me get this burner turned up here. Wrong way. Get that back up to boiling. I'll set the timer and then I'll bring you guys back when it's done. So after setting the timer for these based on my altitude, they do have to rest for 5 minutes. You just turn off the canner, take off the lid, and let it sit in the hot water for 5 minutes. And we got these taken out. These look amazing. So you let them sit for 24 hours before you pretty much label them and put them away, just to make sure that they did seal correctly. They have all popped already, so they're already sealed and ready to go. So if you guys like these videos, just like and leave me a comment, and I'll keep doing these canning videos, and I'll get some baking videos up hopefully here soon too as well. Guys, have a great night.